Greetings, dear ones. This is Friday, the 5th of February, and we are moving along very quickly, not only in this year, but in the process of rebirth and redesigning our lives and our world. And that is very, very exciting. It's very exciting because we have so many energetics available to us for that process. Oops, excuse me. Somehow my camera has gotten out of place. And those energetics are here for us as a collective and as individuals to help us in our process of evolution. And this evolutionary leap is very, very, I'm sorry, there's a little critter outside. Let's try this again. Hello, this is February 5th of 2021 and our year of redesign, reset, redo, reestablishment of the new way. And it's happening very, very rapidly. Changes are taking place in the outer world very, very quickly, despite the fact that there is conflicting signs, conflicting information. On the one hand, it looks like we are making great progress in regard to some shifting of the pandemic. There are certain signs that the jobless rate, although it has grown, many of those that have lost their jobs have retrained themselves or obtained different jobs making even more money. So this all was part of the process. And it gets very, very challenging to see the progress when we are looking simply with our mind or with our reasoning abilities, because that tends to be based in the 3D facts, figures, news, numbers that are created from and by and out of this 3D world. And it becomes so much more important and really vital as we go through both our own transformation and our collective evolution, that we are able to read, receive, connect into the internal sources and resources, whether that's our own individual innate, our bodies, our energy fields. And our innate is directly connected to our wider self. Many use the term higher self. For me, that implies a hierarchy. Excuse me. And the experiences that I've had, and from some of the teachers and seers that I have aligned with over years, have experienced a wider self, meaning a wider experience of yourself, be it in and through other realities, a collective of intelligence of you on the spiritual planes, or perhaps the combination of many different existences, lifetimes you've had, and the information that is held in your energy field from all of those existences. So we have incredible resources, incredible sources within us, and when the information is coming from the internal, not only are we able to move through our day in a much more, mm, with much more ease, but also with a greater wisdom and greater knowledge base. And that allows us to make decisions, choices, which are much more in alignment with our soul's purpose, with our um, desires, even in this plane. That language, the ability to receive that information, can be very challenging because our tendency, of course, is to go through the brain and our linear language. And that is sometimes, oftentimes, deceptive. Um, it is very, very unusual that you will, or let me say this, it takes a great deal of practice and um, expansion of your ability to hear, literally, hear words, hear a voice, if in fact that isn't your first or default way of receiving information. And it really isn't for most people. We all have our own default avenue of receiving information, and it corresponds to the different chakras. And each person is different. Each person does have a way that is most aligned with your system. There are no two people alike. There are many ways to receive information, but it is when and as you have more access to your internal self that you are able to expand that uh, the the width of of information that can come in. So right now we're still riding on the heels of Groundhog Day, and that has come to have a significance and a meaning and um, an imagery and a symbolism through our current culture, our modern culture. And as I mentioned in Tuesday's meditation, it has come to be part of our collective consciousness understanding of getting caught in loops and not being able to break those cycles within us. So we're still in that energetic, meaning that it is still available for us to utilize and access in our own looking at, bringing forward, offering up, and receiving help to break those cycles. One of the beautiful energetics that came in through that meditation on Tuesday evening was the nature being of snow and all its different qualities. It is still available to us with its qualities, but to a little lesser extent. It's taken a little bit of a back seat, but the energy and the help to break cycles is still very, very strong as of today. And that language that we can develop with our internal sources and resources is one that lives primarily in metaphor and symbology. And that is a more universal language, universal insofar as our earth plane, our human existence. There are many, many symbols and metaphors that that are found and understood throughout all cultures. There are others, of course, that are unique to a culture, and there are more that are coming in with our modern culture and with the ease of spread of communication and information across the internet. Those symbols, concepts, metaphors are becoming more international. And as I said, then there are those that are universal. A lot of them based in the universal archetypes: time, space, matter, energy, light, movement. Um, there are others. And you'll find these in and through the legends and stories of the ancient cultures as well as indigenous cultures. For there was and continues to be for the indigenous peoples a constant communication and back and forth, giving and receiving between humans and between nature, between humans and plants, trees, within and among the different species on this planet, as well as a continuous avenue of or lines of communication from ancient cultures, or we find in ancient cultures and still to this day in indigenous cultures, between humans and divine beings, we might term them, um, off-planet beings, uh, cosmic beings or cosmic energies, stars, constellations, um, configurations, conjunctions. All of these were recognized by the ancient peoples and still to this day, as I said, utilized in and through everyday practices and everyday um, interaction with one another, with and as a tribe or group, um, and what is best for that tribe and group. So it really is important, I will say again, and vital for us to each develop that languaging through metaphor and symbology within us, and be able to receive through signs, symbols, clues, little pieces of information, little bites of information, BYTES, from all the sources around us. We do not necessarily live in a place pristine in nature where we can receive the information from animals and aspects of nature and see very clearly the night sky. But we can still receive information from those sources through other avenues, be it computer, television, uh, books, um, conversations, little bites of information, even through social media sources, interestingly. Perhaps it is a sign or a symbol or a word on a truck going by. There are so many ways in which we are able to receive, and that receptivity grows, opens, and grows as we have more access and space within us. So, as we work on our own processes and transform, change what is impeding us within, it automatically allows for um, your own intuitive, psychic abilities to come online. So I'm hearing that, um, which is why oftentimes you'll notice in these meditations, talks, practice, energetic practices, what I've termed ancient future wisdom is because it is tapping into or accessing or allowing ancient information, past information, future information to come in. And that involves and includes, of course, all aspects of nature, seasons, cycles, the earth, um, and our current collective um, consciousness theme, which this week, of course, is that breaking of cycles. So we can actually utilize the energy from that movie and explore within and have more help, have more um, forces guiding us and helping us through that process. This isn't just something that each one is doing on their own. There is the personal work, but you are interconnected with not only the collective, but with everything that there is. So it's all in process of breaking old cycles personally, in relationship, and that is what this brings us to. It brings us to a deeper relationship with ourselves, a deeper relationship with all the aspects of the earth and beings on the earth, and a deeper relationship with the divine. And it's an alchemical process, certainly from the basis of this work. It is a combination of what you are experiencing and how that is reflected on a larger stage, and the both personal and collective symbols, signs, metaphors that are here to help, here to as impetus, here as encouragement, here as support, here as honoring and valuing what you are doing and who you are. So, we're going to take into this meditation today the energy of Groundhog Day, the movie, and all that it symbolizes. Mountain energy is also very, very strong. And there are many sacred mountains around the world that hold very particular energetics. The Tibetan mountains have been very present the past 12 hours or so. And as well, we have the beautiful, magical, sparkling, and crystalline energy of snow. For most of the country, a good half of the country has, if not more, has experienced a great deal of snow this week. And when the sun breaks through and is shining on that sun, you are naturally, I would naturally see, the response of people when you feel and really see the magic of that sparkling snow. And of course, those of you who have worked with or are familiar with Asuro Imoto's work with snowflakes and the magnificent, complex, very unique geometric configurations of each snowflake, and the power of word or thought or energy that can literally change the molecular geometric configuration of a drop of water. And it is no accident. Again, was not planning this, was not thinking this, but I happen to have put on jewelry today that does represent the snowflake, both in pin and earrings and even on the skirt that I have on. Again, completely unintentional. This is one of the many ways in which your internal helpers can emphasize or make very apparent the offering. And those snowflakes are very symbolic of the transitory nature of our lives and the potential for change that we each have within us in regard to breaking those cycles. So that is here very present. And the message through the oils today was one that I was told to share. And it is, as you experience the courage to let yourself radiate and shine, it will enable you to gather in. I'm looking at the oils, which is why I've turned my head, forgive me. Will enable you to gather in all that you may need by following your innate, which is your internal compass, enabling you to clear away any congestion to your power and passion, allowing you to be fearless in your essence and the physicalization of that essence. Truly sensating your inner heart and your inner heart's desires, so that standing and speaking your truth is magical, transforming your, or actually seeing, truly being able to see the transformation that is taking place within you and within our planet, allowing you to feel fully, divinely protected as you move in and out of this reality and others, to magnify your purpose as you walk your path. And so I invite you now to really find your sits bones, and this is just a start. You want to be in your body, in your temple, in your vehicle, in your vessel, letting your body and energy field take care of that vessel and that vehicle, so that you can drop in deeply and potentially tap into not only deeper states of yourself, but other realities potentially. And that's what a lot of this work is about, is teaching how to shapeshift. And that is done by getting away from the mind and the third eye, which will interfere, which oftentimes interferes out of concern for you. So once you find your sits bones and you're settled well on them, and you can just kind of let your shoulder blades just slide down and a little bit towards one another, which opens up your chest and allows for the breath to move more fluidly and easily. It also enables the energy from your divine connections, if you will, down through the crown, to run through your spine and to connect with the energy coming up from the earth and through your root chakra. And this allows for much more energy, much more availability of you. And if at a later point you feel to lay down, that's perfectly fine. Or if you are practiced in being in your body and want to start out laying down, that's fine as well. But I do encourage those who have not had a lot of experience internally to start out just settled in your body. It makes for a much more secure and carefree journey. So, settling into that body, or again, if lying down seems better, you might still want to say to yourself or out loud, I am asking and I am allowing my body. I am asking and I am allowing my energy field. I am asking and I am allowing my wider self, I am asking and I am allowing my guides and teachers and masters all to join me here and now, assisting me, leading me down and within my internal world, my inner verse. For therein, you need not say this, therein lies all information you may need. Therein lies resources and sources just for you. Therein lies the voice of your soul. So in this process of sinking down and in, some people experience it as gradually becoming heavier. Oftentimes it feels like a downward movement of your energy field. For most of the humans on this planet, we tend to push our energy field, certainly here in this country, push our energy fields upward to try to manage and handle everything through our mind and or our will, or carrying it on our shoulders. And so to allow that energy field to just slide down, it's a very, very slow, gradual process for many. Somewhat like the downward movement of an elevator, but actually experiencing, sensating, feeling that downward movement inside your body. But not visualizing. For visualizing will maintain the process in your head, even if it takes you to a wider mind space. It is very different than this practice. Where you are having a deeper experience of your internal self. Some may experience themselves just becoming more substantial. For generally, we think we are in our bodies. We think we are grounded. But anytime you use your mind or visualization to do that, you're actually maintaining yourself out of your body, above your body, separating from your body and your energy field, and your wider self, whose communication comes from an internal place. Guides, teachers, and masters will and can communicate with you through outer resources, as I mentioned, but it is your unique, individual development of that language that allows for you to receive throughout the day in the back and forth between your internal and external. You need not follow my words, they are only here to assure that the connection, the recording is still in process, and a means by which the combined energetics available to us as a collective are transmitted to your system. Also, the frequencies of coming through the voice allow and assist you in being able to drop ever more deeply sometimes people tend to feel sleepy. It's quite all right to not fight that, but instead trust your system, your energy field, your wider self, that is the exact right way for you at this point in time. Simply allow and allowance has no effort in it. Allowance is a softening, or some term it a letting happen. No work, no push, no goal, no intention. Simply allow, simply experience, simply sensing whatever you may feel internally, physically, energetically. For that is the space within which you are able to access and receive. And perhaps that receiving is simply an energetic experience. No need to force or search for. For that would be to effort, that would be to run the program, so to speak. We have the beautiful message from the plant kingdom, tree kingdom, through the oils. They are definitely here. The Himalayas, and the Blue Ridge Mountains. As well as the groundhog teacher, animal teacher itself, which symbolizes cycles and change. And brings offerings of loyalty and generosity and community. The magical nature of snow sparkling in the sunlight. With all the intricacy and complexity and breathtaking beauty of an individual snowflake, simply allow yourself to sink down another level deeper. Nothing you need do. Your energy field and your wider self know how to do this. all you need do is allow yourself to be led. Again, not through your mind, but through your body and energy field. Let go of your visioning, let go of your third eye, let go of your frontal lobe, your brain, which will enable you to drop down and in to your inner verse. And again, we are inviting in metaphor and symbolism. For your internal world, your inner verse, generally does not speak in nice, clear, linear language. For when we move beyond this confinement of time, the linear falls away, and the broader language of metaphor and symbolism from your wider self, from your guides and teachers and masters, your soul and soul team. And the vast expanse of experiences you have had as a soul. assisting, guiding, teaching, reminding you who you truly are, what you came here to explore and experience, and the absolute realization that you have never been, are never, never will be on your own, alone, or that it be entirely up to you to achieve or accomplish this exploration and experiencing. That you chose for this particular life, at this particular time, on this particular planet. Or reality. One of countless that you as an eternal being have, will, or are currently, concurrently, living in and through. And as this process now of consolidating and then incorporating again, nothing you need do, your wider self, your energy field knows how to do this, has been doing this for time immemorial. Just allow Just feel, just follow. You may begin to experience yourself a little more and more in the physical. And in that delicious space in between where you are feeling your physical body, your physical presence in this dimension, as well as feeling your non-physical energy field, your beingness. And the more you practice that back and forth or in between space, the easier it becomes to have access to that more of you throughout your day. You are welcome to stay in this space for however long you can or choose, knowing that you will be fully integrated and consolidated whenever you choose to cease this practice, and knowing that whenever you listen to it, you will be able to drop back in and come back out fully and completely consolidated, incorporating all that you experienced. And heads up, towards the end of the month, I believe it is the 27th, I will be conducting a 11 to 4 p.m. day-long workshop where we will be reimagining, reforming, and rebirthing your new way of being for this year and beyond. So we're going to be going through that, or going with those winds of change, the energetics that are here to break cycles and recreate new ways of being. And just know that we were always here on Friday at noon, and I wish you a fabulous weekend and fabulous week. And as always, please know that I honor, feel gratitude, and love for your presence here on the planet at this time. Until next time, be well in all ways.